Can we talk about your kids?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some milestones.
Okay.
For Isaac,
yes,
obviously, who we've all known forever.
Yeah.
How old is Isaac?
He's going to be 15 in January.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to high school. Yeah, next week. Literally a week from today, he will be entering the doors of the high school.
How does that make you feel that you have a high schooler?
Well, honestly, I'm just so proud of him because the things that I was doing at his age versus the things that he is doing at his age are night and day, and he truly is like a better human than I think I could have ever been at that age. Yeah, he's just fantastic.
What is he into?
Sign language. He's fluent in American Sign Language, takes online courses with the local school for the deaf, and then he wants to be an interpreter, so that's what he's doing right now.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What 15-year-old has that figured out?
I was like, how did you even get into this? And it's like one class in middle school led to all of this, so it's really cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it very trippy to think about him approaching the age that you were when you got pregnant with him?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's, when I was saying like the things that I was doing at his age, he's not even concerned about half of those things.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool to watch him just flourish into who he's becoming.
And things are good with Joe and V and everyone in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, not every day, but I mean, the ebbs and flows, I think, of co-parenting. And, for a little while, it was a little weird just because the older the child gets, the dynamic of co-parenting shifts, and so we don't need to communicate every day. And so there was a period of time where we really didn't need to communicate at all, but on the same token, I'm podcasting with Isaac's stepmom every day. And so, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay. Well, I love that. Sounds great. He sounds incredible. I can't wait to watch Isaac change the world one day. Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln's into sports, heavy into soccer right now. I actually got a call on this trip that he was selected to go play soccer in Madrid. Oh my gosh. So we're planning that, which is super exciting. And Javi and I are doing the best we can to co-parent him. So
yeah. How's that dynamic going?
Ebbs and flows. Some days it's really great, and other days, we hit some bumps in the road. But I think, being that we're divorced and sort of still in the public eye, I think that we do the best we can.
What has been your biggest co-parenting lesson that you've learned?
Keep most of it off the internet.
What is different about your relationship with Elijah than other relationships you've been in?
Oh, he's so cool, calm, and collected at all times. Like, I've never experienced that in my entire life. So I just don't, he's an angel on this earth, and I don't know what I did to deserve him because he's so, nothing is too big of a problem. We're gonna figure it out. Wow. And so that's really different for me.
You accept that though. You're like, I do deserve this. This is great. This is good communication. Maybe the other stuff just wasn't so great.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, do I deserve this? Like, my life is kind of crazy, so I feel bad sometimes.
What about with his dynamic with your older kids?
He stepped into that so seamlessly, and my kids love him, which is so. I just have never really seen that. You know what I mean? And Isaac and Elijah are best friends. And then if Elijah is not at a game for Lincoln, Lincoln's like, where is Elijah? Like you're not even looking for me, you're looking for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're like, I'm not bitter, but
fine. And then Lux and Creed love him because they just jump all over him. They think he's like the cool dad. You know what I mean? Like maybe not their dad, but the cool dad. Yeah. So that's cool for them.
Who's good cop, bad cop?
Elijah's always the good cop.
You gotta be the bad cop.
Yeah. It's not a great time for me.
Luckily, they're great kids, so they don't need as much.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the biggest thing that you've learned from past relationships that you brought into this one?
Don't bring the other ones into this one. I have kept, I think in the past, like maybe with Lux and Creed's dad, I brought baggage from the other relationships into that one. Maybe for this one, everything is so separate. Like I really try not to involve Elijah in anything that he doesn't need to be involved in. And so we're not worried or arguing or talking about things that are not going to directly impact our relationship.
Yeah.
So obviously he knows if something is going on, but it's kind of seamless in that way. Like I don't need to share things with him that would upset him, or you know what I mean? It's just, we co-parent where we need to co-parent. I co-parent where I need to co-parent, and I let him know what he needs to know, but he doesn't need to know everything.
And was it, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of the first relationship that wasn't really on the show at all?
Yeah.
That probably gave it a little clean break.
Yeah. Chris wasn't really on the show a whole lot. I think I left when he signed on. And so our dynamic together was never on. It was always sort of like my side or his side. Right. But with Elijah, nothing has been on the show. So that's kind of been nice, actually.
Yeah. With the podcast, do you ever have to stop yourself from wanting to share stories because you kind of did close that a little bit to give yourself some privacy versus on MTV it was all aired out? Now did you have to protect your peace a little bit?
Yeah, no, at first I was really apprehensive to talk about him, but now I think fair game. Like anything that goes on, I'll say it.
And he's cool with the podcast. He's like,
I don't know.
Go with that podcast, buddy girl.
I think he probably doesn't listen, so he has no idea, but I definitely air him out sometimes.
Have any of your kids ever heard a clip or seen something and been like, Mom, what is this?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like something funny that they might have. Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but they for sure heard
Well, that's
things.
good.
Yeah.
Isaac's not coming home from school being like, this girl listens to your show and said you said this.
Oh, no, he tells me.
Okay.
Mostly it's about books right now, which I'm thankful for. Yeah. But he definitely tells me that his friends or his friends' parents listen to my podcast, which that's the weird thing.
I forgot about the other parents. What's that like?
So, what's funny is that one of the boys' gym teacher stopped me on my way into the school and was like, oh, I'm going to have to listen to your podcast. And I said, please don't.
No, maybe not, sir.
The audience is not for you. You are not one with the audience. Like, this is not your demographic. Absolutely not. And so I forget that, like, people where I live are not, like, it's not New York, it's not LA. So this isn't, like, a regular thing.
Right.
And so I do get a little bit embarrassed when I know that, like, people who know who I am but we're not necessarily close listen to the podcast, because I'm like, I don't know that I would necessarily tell that poop story to you. And so it's definitely a fun time.
But they're all secretly probably like, well, that's happened to us. And like, good for her for being brave enough to say it on front of a microphone.
I hope so. I hope so.
Is that a huge part of it for you too? Is that especially like the parenting stories? Like, every parent goes through similar things, and it's a way for you to help people feel not as alone if they're going through something similar.
Totally. And I get people who write in all the time too that I relate to as well. Like, it's not always me having a story and them relating. Right. It's them having stories that I relate to, which is really cool. And it makes me feel seen and heard as well.
Yeah.
So
in 2024, if you could have one teen mom or 16 and pregnant alum, who would you have on the podcast to interview?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe one of the girls that didn't go to Teen Mom OG. Okay. Like a 16 and pregnant original, maybe Ebony or Whitney from 16 and Pregnant.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, because I don't think that they've really been in the media at all.
No. Who knows? Anything could be happening.
I don't know what's going on with them in their lives.
We need like your season of 16 and Pregnant to have a reunion next year for the 15th year anniversary, and you can host it.
Oh, well I don't think they'd ever hire me back.
No, you can do it on your own. You can do it on your Patreon.
I think that ship has sailed for MTV, but absolutely would love to do that. That would be really cool.
That would be cool. You can have your own. You can be your own Dr. Drew.
Yeah, or we could have like anyone who's had twins. We could do a twin mom reunion.
Yes.
So that would be cool, because I think I'm not the only. Leah had twins. I think Jen Del Rio was on a 16 and Pregnant season, and she had twins. So that would be cool.
You mentioned Chelsea before when you were talking about whether you're going to leave the show. Are you still in touch with her, or who do you still talk to?
I talked to Chelsea earlier this week. I was asking her about something, and so obviously we don't talk every day, but we keep up with each other.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
What about other reality TV? If there was either something personal life or like a competition-y kind of show, what would you be into doing?
Oh God, Special Forces, The Masked Singer, Big Brother. Ooh. Yeah.
I would be good on Special Forces, I feel like.
No, because I don't think they've asked me because they think I would win, and so it would just be a dead giveaway. As soon as I show up, they're like, oh, Kail's gonna win. You know what I mean?
I would really want to watch you on that show.
I tried. They did not get back to me, so.
Big Brother too, that could be fun. I think you'd be underestimated on Big Brother.
For sure. I think I'd be underestimated. I think I would be underestimated on all of them.
Yeah. First, we gotta start with the podcast Empire.
Yeah.
There's 3 shows currently.
Yes.
Can you, in your own words, give me the little pitch about each 3, why they're different? Just talk me through them.
Okay, so we have Coffee Combos Podcast with Lindsay, and that one is so much fun because we talk about everything from parenting to lifestyle. We crack jokes, we read foul plays. It's just so much fun. And that's the baby, right? Like, that's where it all started, because she was the reason I got into podcasting. She asked me to do this podcast. Then we have Baby Mamas, which is the podcast I have with Isaac's stepmom. And that one is cool because we went from enemies to lovers, I guess. Enemies to best friends. And then we have Barely Famous, which is my solo baby that I love, and that's the real baby.
That's
of the
the
podcast.
real baby.
Yeah.
Okay. First, let's talk about Lindsay. What is something that people might not know about Lindsay? You've been doing this show together for a while.
Yeah. I think she presents as type A, and she's very much type B. And I don't think that people would automatically put us together in a room, right? Like, if we were in high school together, you would never imagine that we would be friends. And we're actually a lot more alike than people would be willing to admit, I think.